Hello, it's James from XRobots.co.uk. Today I'm going to show you my giant Lego HyperReality blaster, which fires a Lego brick from the physical world through the virtual world and back out into the physical world to hit a real target. My giant Lego blaster's got a screen in it which allows me to look into the virtual world, and the trigger is an HTC Vive controller with a custom brick that plugs on the bottom, and that means it's tracked in space and I've got a trigger to pull. I made these giant Lego minifigures which are in the physical world, and those get knocked down of course when you shoot them. The HTC Vive tracking allows me to look around in the virtual world, and I can also shoot bullets with the trigger, which are Lego man heads which shoot all over the place. There's a big Lego man who I can shoot down, but if I shoot the little Lego men, then we find they fall down in the real world as well. Although this is a bit like augmented reality, which overlays digital imagery onto the physical world, this goes a step further by overlaying the physical world back onto the virtual world. So I'm not really sure what to call it, and that's why I'm calling it HyperReality. But how does it work? I downloaded Lego brick STLs from Thingiverse. They came from user ProJunk, and I put the link to their profile in the description. There are lots to download, and most of the designs are parametric, which means you can make your own custom sizes. I scaled all the bricks up by 5 times in Cura and printed them out on the Lulzbot TAS 6 in PLA filament so they didn't warp. I found a great Lego yellow PLA from 3D Filiprint in the UK, and this is their premium yellow PLA. I also got the minifigures from Thingiverse, and that uses another user called Arcaslis. So again, I scaled and printed them, and I put the link in the description to this video where you can get them from. I'd already made a normal size version of the Lego blaster from some actual Lego, so I assembled the giant version basically in exactly the same way. There are a few small changes, but I've stuck to assembling it the way you'd build actual Lego. I had to make a special custom brick to hold the 7-inch monitor which I got from eBay. I brought the STLs from Thingiverse into Fusion 360 and turned them into a solid model so I could edit them. I also made a custom brick to hold an HTC Vive controller which is used for the tracking. I used 3D printed NinjaFlex discs so I can tighten up a bolt into a captive nut without marking the Vive handset. Once the whole thing was together, it left me with a screen to use as a virtual camera which is tracked in space by the HTC Vive handset. I used Unity 3D to build the virtual environment. I did this by using standard Unity game objects, but also converting the 3D print STLs to OBJ and FBX files in Fusion 360 and bringing those into the environment as well. I spent quite some time aligning the virtual Lego gun barrel with where the real one is relative to the handset, and also aligning the Lego Minifig so they're in the same virtual and physical spaces in the room. There are plenty of Unity tutorials on the internet, and it's actually pretty easy to make a virtual gun that fires bullets and make the physics work so objects collide and knock each other over. I tested most of this in actual virtual reality with the Vive headset on. I'd already 3D printed the bases for the Lego Minifigs. These have servos installed in them and a lever attached that pushes the minifig over. I built some electronics based around an Arduino Uno which takes serial data from the PC over USB and activates the levers. Each lever has a unique value so they can be triggered on demand. The Arduino code is multitasking, so multiple levers can be triggered at once and they retract after half a second. This slightly lifts and knocks the Lego minifigs back just like they're being shot. The last thing to do was to make the bases be triggered when the virtual Lego minifigs are shot. I did this by setting up a box collider behind each minifig and ticking is trigger. This enabled me to write a C# script that sends serial data to the Arduino to trigger each base when it needs to. I had a lot of fun making this concept, but obviously it is a proof of concept. There are much better ways to do a target practice game, a shooting range and those sorts of things using lasers or infrared or whatever. But that's not the point. This is about a technical proof of concept to show how we can mix physical and virtual reality in the same physical space. And there's lots of other ideas we could do. So imagine an art or a prop display or some sort of installation where you can go along, pick up a virtual camera, go and shoot or affect somehow the virtual world that then comes back into the physical world to make something else happen. And I've got lots of other more elaborate ideas that I'll be building in the future. Perhaps we could even come back into the physical world and then go back into the virtual world again and back into the physical world again. A bit like a Rube Goldberg machine perhaps, where one stage triggers the next stage, but some of those stages are physical and some of them are virtual, and we come in and out of the virtual world and in and out of the physical world. So that's all for this video, but look out for more concepts in the future, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on some other projects, including this one. Alright, that's all for now.